All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap, and we'll guide you through the markets today. What we're looking at is order flow. And why are we looking at order flow? Is to understand the behavior of participants in the auction. The only way that they can participate is via their orders. Therefore, understanding the order flow is very, very helpful and can give us insight to where price might go. We're using Bookmap to understand that through the liquidity in the current and historical heat map. And then we're also looking at the transactions and the market structure. Really, these three things. But we do have another process in here we're going to go through here. We're going to be looking at the impetus, what's moving the market. We have to understand this. This is outside of technicals, or it's just it's about data. It's about geopolitical events. It's about could be some crazy price of oil, or it could be the French government collapsed. There's issues and tensions also in Japan, and the yen is going down. So all of these kinds of things, it's complexity to it, and we want to understand what's moving that market, so then that we have insight to what might be happening to the market we're trading. Then we look at our key levels. This is really the market structure. We're looking at the key levels on the higher time frame. And then around those levels, we're looking for scenarios. We're going to develop scenarios and look at strategies to play around those areas. For example, if you're bearish and price is coming up to an area, well, then you're going to be looking for shorting it, and you're going to be looking at drawing out your scenario of what that might look like. Maybe price spikes above an area, and then it rejects and comes back down, and you see tons of sellers. Or maybe it exhausts up into that area. There's no buyers, and you start to see it kind of turn over, and you start to see lots of sellers. These are the kind of scenarios that I'm talking about. That's when we finally get to our setup. We want to choose the proper setup for the day, and then we execute. Okay, so we understand the order flow events in our checklist, and we grade it, and we determine our sizing. All right, let me see here. Hold on just a minute. If everyone can hear me and see my screen. Yep, looks like I'm good. Okay. Yeah, good morning, Steven, Trading His Life, and Alois. Yeah, Alois, I don't know, did you trade that? Did you trade the Nikkei? Up around 5%. Huge. Anyway, let's go back in here. There's a couple things I need to cover first. So we're back again this quarter, or I'm sorry, this month, with our blue jacket competition. All right, win the coveted blue jacket hoodie from Bookmap. You can earn 3 months of Global Plus, and basically you'll take a screenshot of your setup, and then you will post it on Instagram, X, or LinkedIn with the hashtag #FreeBlueJacket, and then you have your chance to win. You've entered. All right, so go check it out if you're interested. Our onboarding schedule. So we just had Dan this morning, 8 a.m. Then Wednesday, 4 p.m. Brandon. Now these are all East Coast times. Then me on Friday at 1 p.m. The goal here is for any of you new to Bookmap to understand how to get up and running. Okay, how to subscribe to Bookmap, how to log into bookmap.com and download Bookmap and install it, how to get data. Okay, you may need to subscribe to data, or if you bring your own data in from data sources we support. So then we're going to connect that data and get you up and running with your symbols. All right. Bruce's pilot program. All right, so I'm going to have to change the name of this here pretty soon, but it's no longer a pilot program. It's going to be, basically what this is all about here, is about building an edge for yourself. Okay, we have a process in here you go through. You learn yourself through using bookmap tools like replay mode, which you can speed up and see many trading instances of a setup we will give you. We will also give you the replay files so you can train and see it and build your confidence. This is the quickest way I've seen to build a trading edge for yourself, and this is the program. So if you're interested, I'll put the link into the chat here for you. But you will also be recording it in your trading journal. This is all excellent stuff, and you will be on your way to becoming a profitable trader. Yeah, let me put this into the chat. There you go. And over in YouTube as well. Okay. All right. Okay. And okay, we just went through our process and disclosures, and then we'll jump in here. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. The risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, you might have seen the news about AMD. So it's up a tremendous amount from 165 here to, well, it did a high of what, around 227. So obviously a huge news for AMD and some of the AI stocks, but especially for AMD. All right, so let's go jump over to the, and I want to get out of trading mode here. We'll go over to Bookmap, and I wanted to show you this to you guys here for those of you in the pilot program. Okay, I passed on this in here, and I had my reasons for it. Okay, this is that trend line break and accumulation setup in here, and just so you know, good morning, Shark. I mean, what were some of the criteria in here? Okay, this is what we go through in the setup, you know, checklist here. You know, we're looking for a lot of liquidity getting filled on the bid. That's the first part. No, that's the first part, as well as a key level. Okay, now if we look at our key level, we're kind of at a key level too down here. You can see. Yeah, hold on a minute. That's okay. I'll keep this candlestick here. So you can see like these kind of key levels in here, and then the swing down here, and then high liquidity here. Okay, so I'm waiting, I'm watching. Here's my trend line and my structure. Okay, now it's really not so much about trend line as it is so much about structure break. Okay, so there is a couple different structures in here. We have a horizontal and we have a diagonal structure. Okay, so I'm looking for a transition here. This is important. So as we're coming down, we can see that there's high liquidity in here on the bid. Okay, that's the that's the first element in here. Good morning, Kev. And you know this very well, Kev. So we're getting filled here. These passive buyers getting filled on the bid on the way down. Now it's also at the cash open. Okay, time of day. These are considerations in here. Now, I mean, when we get down to the nitty gritty in the setup, it's really about the key level and the passive accumulation. And we have a little bit of both there, a lot more about the passive liquidity. And we start to see some buyers come in and test this structure up here. Okay, so in fact, let me just get rid of this here. Even if we're just looking at the trend line, we see it kind of bump up above and it fails, it comes back down, it kind of bumps up above again. And why didn't I get involved in this? Okay, well, there's a number of reasons in here. I started to look for a transition from sell side aggressors here to buy side, or accumulation at least, this is the setup of the accumulation from passive buyers to aggressive buyers. Now, I don't see it yet. Okay? I'm looking for that structural change in here in the volume. Volume delta bars are an excellent way of looking at this, and you'll see it also in the clusters here of the green dots, and we didn't get it. Okay, so I put in another trend line in here, or I could even put another structural area in here, and I'm looking for maybe exhaustion off of this, or maybe more passive accumulation down here, and then it to pop up, and then maybe I get those buyers, and then I get that move and push higher. We didn't get any of that, so I stayed away from it. Just so you guys, like, you really want to see that that transition. Okay, see now the transition here? Look how much better that looks. All right, so I like that. All right, we can look at this in here. All right, so in fact, we can redraw this now. And we can look at we need to go back. We need to take a look at our whole system here. Let me cancel all the drawings. And then let's zoom out. Okay, so number one, do I have a key level? Yep, right here. Okay, so this is the 68 level, which here, let's just go back to our higher time frame as well. All right, so we can see like a gap fill in here on the 15-minute chart, and that looks pretty good. You know, that's where the market kind of opened up on the overnight, right? So that looks good. All right. So that's our key level. Now, do we have passive liquidity getting filled? Yes. We saw it in here earlier. It continued to get filled and filled and filled. Okay, great. So now let's take a look at our structure. Okay, we'll draw a diagonal structure. We'll also draw the horizontal structure. All right. And there's a couple of those in here because it kind of did a double bottom here. All right. Now, do I see that accumulation from the aggressors? Yes. Okay, so now I am looking for this to come back up into some of these swings up in here. Okay, I see the transition starting to unfold. Now we might get a big deep pullback here to 70, but right now this has been our pullback in here, right in here, and I'm seeing still more aggressive accumulation. So I'm looking for these aggressors to take it higher up into maybe 78 or 80. Okay, I hope this is making sense, but this is what we're looking for. All right, and another thing too is we're hitting a single. We're looking for just hitting that single. Now, and for a lot of you guys who are experts at this setup in here, you would have already hit your single up here, most likely. Okay, at the first structural area, and then you're holding and looking for a runner. All right, so some things to consider in here. In fact, are we still looking for this to go higher? Yes, I am. However, like I said about hitting that single in here, okay, and getting out, I just don't see anything in the structure yet or these aggressors in here to tell us that we're going to get that deeper pullback yet. All right, so therefore we're looking for this to go higher. And then let's look at a measured move in here as well. We have our target up here at 79 and 80 up here. Okay, now we just need to wait for these aggressors to continue to come into the market. All right, what about our volume profile up in here? Okay, not bad. There's a low volume node right up here at 80. Okay, yeah, there was a previous swing up here as well at 80. So this all kind of looks pretty good around 80 up here. 80, 81, somewhere around there. Okay, there's liquidity at 80. All right. Any questions? Hello from Spain. All right. Can we take a look at NQ as well? Sure. Sure, Dylan. Let's also take a look here. Before we do that, let's jump over to our higher time frame structure, because we kind of just jumped right into this here, and covering it because we can, because it's unfolding here. Anyway, let's jump back to our higher time frame candlesticks here. On the daily, okay, we're up here near all-time highs. On the hourly in here, we see the deeper pullback, and then the reaction today here, and kind of filled that gap here. Well, I mean, the gap fill would be down here, but kind of bounced off of some price action in here where it opened up, and we saw that here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, a move back up into where it kind of dropped from up in here looks pretty good. So I still like it. Anyway. Yep, 79.81 up in here. It looks pretty good. You can see some of the profile is going to show from this was Friday's activity in here. It looks like so. There was some trading up in here, so this looks like a good area to kind of revisit here for those buyers. Anyway, all right, let's jump over. We'll see how this plays out here, but there's nothing to do at the moment here. So we'll jump over to the NQ and take a look and see what's happening there. Okay. Actually, I was testing some things in here, and I am going to deselect them. All right. I don't look at my theoretical average. Okay. Okay, so what do we see here in the NQ? Let's zoom out a bit more. Well, pretty bullish here. As you can see, the move up, the press up, up to 25,200, the move through it, 25,250. Wow. And now, you can see that the cash open, though, right here at 9:30, a quick move away. And this is all kind of trapped up in here at that point, right? And you can see we've been bouncing around in there so far. Okay, so we have another big kind of choppy zone in here right now. You can see what happened. It went down to the swing low here, okay, which is a good level, and it held. We found some buyers down there after being going through and filling some of that liquidity here on the bid. Okay, so there's liquidity up above here. Buyers starting to rotate back in. Let's see if they can take it out here up at this area, 180 and 185. Looks pretty good. Okay, see those buyers coming in, looking for them to now. Here's our cup and handle. I would look for a retest back up into this 80, and then maybe 85 here. All right. So, and the reason being, again, looking at some of the structure, and also looking at the transactions in here. Okay, so we see transactions, not a whole lot of liquidity down here in these areas, right? And then we see here, we do have some liquidity though, just after 10, 10 or so. And then we see a reaction. Well, we see reactions in here by buyers, and then we see a reaction again here by buyers. Okay, so we're looking for, there seems to be more buyers up in these areas, and we see it again in here. And that's how we get this, kind of, I've been describing it as kind of a cup and handle doesn't really matter. It just means that we have more and more buyers at these levels, as well as higher lows in here, typically. Okay, so that's a good combination for looking for those aggressive buyers to come in here and trade into that high liquidity up in here, and that's already unfolded. So our target of 180 has already been hit. Did not hit 187 here, 186. Just the move up into that high liquidity here. Okay, a pullback again to where it broke out from, and I don't know at this point. Okay, we can start to look at market structure again. We can look at diagonals as well as the horizontals. All right, let's see. Any questions over here? Art, we love Bookmap. I've been slowly learning. Have everyone you need for order flow. Okay. Okay. No, it looks like you're all set up then. And what are you trading mostly, Art? And then Dylan's asking, how do we see such strong buying delta in the NQ open, but no liquidity absorbed? Well, let's take a look at the open. Okay, 9:30 cash open. Well, this is absorbed in here. Well, I mean, it traded through it, but this transacted. This very high liquidity in here transacted. You can see it kind of nibbling away at it. This transacted here. This nibbled away, kind of dipped in again. Then it transacted. Okay, and then you can see that this is really back and forth in here for a while. And then as we were noting in here, we weren't really seeing much, right? There was not much liquidity in here until down here. Okay, the swing again, guys. Even on a lower time frame, this worked, right? This is the kind of, I mean, there's kind of three key levels in here, but like there's like multiple levels here. There's liquidity there, and there's one down a little bit lower here, and then obviously the bigger level here. That's the low of the day. But there's liquidity at a higher level. Plus we have all these transactions up in these areas up in here. Okay, so we see that rotation in. Does that make sense, Dylan? So putting those pieces together. In fact, we've talked about this a lot, about that trend line break accumulation and nuances in it. Okay, this is a nuance because it's not really, it's a lower time frame level. Okay, it's not a big higher time frame key level, and that matters. That's a distinction. Okay, however, these markets are fractal, as we know that, so we would look for the same setup in here, and it did it here. Passive. Okay, so we're at a key level, right? We just determined that. Okay, on the lower time frame, here or here, right? So both. Do we have hot passive orders getting filled there? Yes, here and right here too. Okay. What about the aggressive? Well, what about the structure break? Well, that starts to happen here on the diagonal, also here on the horizontal. And do we have the accumulation by the buyers? Okay, so now they come in, kind of happened after the fact, right? It's a little hard to judge that in here. One way to help judge, as you guys, some of you guys over in that pilot program know, that a lot of times you'll see, like, even though the structure hasn't broken, you'll start to see that volume building in here, right? But the structure hasn't broken yet. You see that passive accumulation. I'm sorry, aggressive accumulation. The structure sometimes kind of, turns into like a head and shoulders, or, triple bottom, like in this case, or, something like that. that gives you a little bit of a heads up. So if you do see it again up in here, you know, it's a nuance for your execution that you can take that. Okay, but you see how you're getting a little late in here if you wait for it. However, even if you waited for it and you saw that and you waited for this did not go against you. Okay, it went straight up into that high liquidity. And again, you would hit the single. You would take some off up here. All right. Does that all make sense to you guys? Okay, it's all over in the pilot program if you want, but anyway, the and then you can see, well, it did accept, and we see the breakout here, and then we started looking at this kind of cup and handle thing, and then we're looking for that move up into 80, yeah, 80, and then maybe 85, which has failed. It did not go higher than that. It went up to this swing, okay, but we would have taken some off there. Right, hit those singles, guys. Get those singles matter. Like, grind it out. You know, we're not trying to hit home runs. Let's see. Steve has a question. Okay, so Joe, you signed up for the pilot program. You haven't heard back. You should have. I'll have to take a look into it, Joe. Yeah, we had some issues in the back end. See, Steve, you have a question. Could you use CME data in Bookmap to analyze order flow in the U.S. stocks? Yeah, well, not CME data. You know, that would be the for the CME, it's you know, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and its futures, and the futures that are most popular in, you know, from the CME are the stock indexes and the futures currency futures. All right, so you will get access to that if you subscribe to that data for the CME. Yeah, ETFs and stuff like that, Steve. If you're looking for that, well, then you're going to have to subscribe to stocks data. What is the reason for trading futures rather than stocks? Futures, well, I mean, futures are pretty amazing products. They're very transparent markets. There's one centralized exchange. Good morning, Florian. And haven't seen you over in the pilot program. So would love to see you get more involved in there. We're going to ramp up a lot of stuff this quarter on that because it's kind of made it past its pilot program-ness. So looking forward to really digging deeper into it. So anyway, getting back to your question, Steve. So there's all sorts of advantages with futures. It's like what, 23, like 5.5 you know, hour market. It's leveraged. You don't need a lot of money to get involved. You have to be very careful about that though with your leverage, but you can trade micros, which is amazing. You don't have to have $25,000 to do to be a pattern day trader, and yeah, they track extremely well, and they're very transparent, and they track extremely well to the stock indexes. There are a lot of reasons there. There's also some tax benefits as well compared to stocks. Okay, there's no wash rule or anything like that either. I don't work for the CME, just so you know. Steve, most people ask about the stock indexes, so that's why as well. So that's why we cover it. This is the All Markets webinar. If you want me to take a look at something else, I'll be happy to. Just let me know. All right, guys. Well, anyway, you can see that this now again. Let me go back into this for those of you in the pilot program. Um, this was a nuanced trade. It wasn't a great. It wasn't the big setup that we're looking for. Okay? It was a smaller example because of the level in here. Okay? But the criteria was met. Okay. Therefore, we're taking profits pretty quickly on this. And we're not looking for this to turn into a big trade. Okay, it is a smaller example. It's these are some of the nuances. Okay, and once you really become good at this setup or understanding the components in the setup, you can do all sorts of stuff. Like up in here, look at the we got almost the opposite here. You've got the move up into all of this high liquidity up in here. Okay, on that move up that we saw, and let's take a look at this in here. So do we see that transition in here? I'm going to have to clear all my drawings here, and we'll redo it here. Okay. Okay. So key level. Okay. Again, it's not the greatest key level here either, right? It's for the intraday, and it's we see some swings up in here, but do we see high liquidity getting filled on the offer? Yes. Here, previously here, and here. Okay, so not bad, and then so we got our key level. We got the passive accumulation in here. Do we see that transition start to unfold? Yeah, you kind of do in here. And does that structure break? Yeah, it does, right in here. And we start to see that the sellers are coming in. Okay, well then again, you'd be looking for taking that down to some of our profit or take profits in here. One would probably be around this structural level, and then the swing down here. Do we have high liquidity down there? Yes. Okay, so there's another one for you guys. Again, now this is a nuance in here, or it is not quite as like in the replay files that I provide you guys. Those are pretty big levels, and they're pretty clean and clear. Okay, but you can start to see some of these other things in here. And where am I going with all of this? It's really from the webinar on Friday, which I never really got to what I wanted to cover, which was understanding order flow elements. When we start to understand these elements, they're kind of like building blocks. And we're going to put those together for setups. Okay, and we look for high probability of these setups then to work, and we'll train using that pilot program. Okay, which again, guys, if you guys have any ideas for names about the pilot program, let me know. I got to come up with something. I like the pilot program, but it's been requested that it's been noted it is not very descriptive, and we need something a little bit more descriptive. Trend line breakers. No, there's more. There's going to be a lot more setups in here, Kev, as we continue on in this program. I was thinking training ops or trading ops. I know I did trading is life. Bruce trading bootcamp. Bootcamp has been so heavily used. I don't know. How about maybe edge builder? I don't know. Anyway, have fun with it if you guys want to let me know. The edge. Yeah, I like it. Let's see. Okay, high liquidity just filled in here. So could we look for maybe even another one? Now, is that a key level? Kind of. It's just really not that great. Do we see some bind? Yeah, we do actually. I would actually look for a small kind of break of this and a retest back up into here, to be honest, right? But that's it. Why? Because we do have here, like we were covering earlier, we have this in terms of aggressors. Okay, now we need to see them up here. We need to see that has not broken the structure yet. This structure at 36 has not broken yet. Okay, but do we have the passive liquidity filled in that area? Yes, this area here as well. So as you can see, it's not all that great, right? So how do we put those pieces together? Okay, well, it's just not a great setup. Okay, so we wait for something better. We grade these. We look at these and we grade them based on what we're seeing here in the order flow. Now we're starting to see it, right? Okay, now let's see these buyers take it up to here, okay, at 45. It looks pretty good. Maybe you can get up a little higher. Maybe you can get up to 50 here, or maybe even to 80 up here. Okay. Now we don't know that, right? But we're looking for 45 up here. Okay, and we're hitting our single. Okay, or what you guys can do too is if you get into these areas in here, you can trail your stop. Okay, Shark has been doing a really great job as trailing his stop. So that's another thing to take a look at. Okay, so we're kind of in that zone up in here. Let's see. I'm still looking for it to break. You can see it had a hard time breaking this here. Now it looks good. Okay, we should get it. Probably hit 50 here. Okay, but anyway, we're looking for taking some off up here at 40. This 45 up here. Special ops trading, yeah. Yeah, trading ops, I was kind of thinking training or trading ops. I don't know. I don't want people to get all confused. All right, let's see it, buyers. Now we're looking for the break. And actually, at this point, I would look for 50 because it's already kind of went back and forth in here. And now we're looking for kind of a break up above it. We didn't get it, but we did get our 45, right? We did get 45, and we would have taken some off at 45. Okay, or trail your stop or whatever. Now, maybe you got stopped out. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. This wasn't a great setup to begin with, right? And we took some out of the market by good trade management. Yeah, ops, they might think is options. I agree. Trading is life. Flight simulator, yeah. Maybe. The trading simulator, trading flight simulator, I don't know. Anyway, guys, we're out of that, right? If no matter how you managed it in here, you either made a little bit of money on it, maybe you hit a single and made good money and that's that, and then or maybe you got stopped out of break even on this pullback in here, or this move back down. Okay, so let's go through this in here, how to manage and reduce the risk in this here. Okay, this is not a great setup. Okay, we knew that. Okay? But it was doing it, had pieces of it. We graded it basically, and we said like it's looking okay, but it's not great, right? So you're not looking to hit a home run. You're just looking to hit a single, and that's it. Okay, protect your account. And moreover, I think what's really important for traders as they start trading, or as they maybe start this program, what's really important is that the money, I mean, if they're trading micros or something, yeah, okay, no one likes to lose money, no doubt about that. But it's really about your confidence. Because if you don't know what you're doing, like that, you're going to continue to lose money. Okay, so if you lose a little bit of money, but you know what you're doing and you're trading right, that's going to be golden. Okay, because you know that you're trading right, and the next opportunity that comes is most likely going to work in your favor, or the next string of opportunities that come are going to work in your favor. Okay, that's your confidence. So don't let these kinds of things rupture your confidence. Okay, manage it aggressively. Hit the single, get out. All right, it's not a great setup. So, but we had elements of it, and I wanted to cover that. Right. So in the end, there's three things that we saved here. One is we saved our account. Okay, or we reduced the risk. Two, we built confidence by managing it correctly. Okay, and three, we're saving mental capital. Okay, all of these things are really key, because mental capital is also you might not think it is, but I think it is. Like it's extremely important. You don't let this get to you. You move on. You move on to the next one, and you don't have to think about it. Right? And you don't go back and forth, and you don't have to watch the market. Yeah, Stephen, mental capital is a thing. Absolutely. I mean, just you want to preserve that. Okay, you got to be sharp for the moments when you need it. And if you are going back and forth and doing all sorts of things in here, you're going to wear yourself out when finally a great opportunity presents. And you're going to be unsure as well. Oh, look at that. Okay, so looks like Laura took that trade in the NQ. Yep, looks pretty good, Laura. Let's jump over. Oh, well, we are in the NQ. Yeah, you got in down here actually. All right, let's see here. Got in around 130. You got in. So you're looking at very, very aggressive extra line in here. Well, I mean, you've been doing this a while, Laura, so you know what you're looking for. Yeah, somewhere in here. Yeah, right in here is where you got in. Yep. Okay, that's pretty early. At the trend line. Okay. So you put in a more aggressive trend line in here. Be careful with those, Laura, especially in the NQ. I mean, I don't know where you drew your trend line, or if you drew something like this. Again, I mean, it's fractal. It's doing it. But the NQ especially, I mean, it can just easily hit down here. All right, what about now, guys? So see how this is kind of, we don't know, right? But like, look what's happened to hit this in here. And let's get rid of all of these drawings in here, and we'll redraw. Okay, so what we have, I'm going to use the line tool. Okay, so we saw this, okay, but now we're seeing this, right, as a structure. Okay, now what about the key level on the NQ? It's not really that much of a key level. Okay, so I don't like it. But this is where we do see a lot of buyers that came in around 5 a.m. And it broke out from here, right? So it's coming back and it retested that area where it broke out from. Okay, we have another key level over here. Guys, as you guys know in the program, understanding your key levels is essential. Okay, is just essential. Like, that's where we're looking for a reaction, and we're looking for the right reaction around those areas. Okay, so now look at this. Let's see how this is turning into a more complex structure, like a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. And I'm seeing buyers here. Okay, great. Let's see these buyers now lift it then to 180. Okay, so we're looking for a breakout on this. Okay, and let's look at maybe a range in here. How high can this go? Okay, can this now go to 180? Yeah, it can. Okay, look at the buyers coming in. All right, so I'm looking for it to go up to this swing here first at 56 or 60, and then maybe taking some partial profit. Okay, and then I would move my stop up, and I'm looking for 80 though, 180. Okay, maybe 185, which we were looking for earlier. We just never got there. Okay, makes sense? Okay, look at the transition. Okay, from the sell side to buy side. All right, well, now what about the passive liquidity? Not as good. Not as good. So we have this here, we have this here, okay, and we have some down here. All right, now this is where we're getting into the elements that I'm talking about. Okay, so is it really good? Not so good for the setup, but it's doing something else than it's turning into like kind of an inverse head and shoulders, right? So if we're looking for this to go higher, what are we leaning on? What kind of support do we have in here that helps us stay with this trade and keep buyers in and sellers away? Okay, so you can see this one is coming right back to retest this area here. Okay, and I'm seeing a lot of sellers now. Okay, this might fail. Okay, so yeah, I would be stopped out on this one. Okay, because I was looking for a little bit higher here, up to this swing at 56. Maybe it actually did it make it to 56 3/4? Oh no. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe it would have taken a single on that. If not, move that stop up to break even, especially when you see this kind of selling coming back in. Okay, it may still work out. Okay? We might see a lot of buying coming in. Now, this is what I wanted to get to about these order flow elements in here, these kind of Lego building blocks. What do we have on our side in here? Okay, we have some of the passive accumulation. We have the structure break, okay, and then the structure turned into this horizontal structure, and then it broke here. And that's where we're looking for the aggressive buyers to come in. Did they come in? Yes, they did. Okay, so one thing we can rely on is the aggressive buyers. Not so much on the passive buyers here. Okay, this is what makes this setup so powerful. Okay? So we might get more aggressive buyers right now. If we do, I'm looking for them to come right back up here to the swing at 56. Maybe this liquidity up here at 60. Maybe we can get up to 80 and 85. Okay, we can draw even a line here. Maybe it's better better like that, somewhere around in there. Okay, so this is what we want to lean on, though, is the order flow and the transactions. Okay, so we have something to lean on in here. It's not a whole lot passively, but we have the aggressors in here to lean on. All right, so you can see we got just a big retest back down here, but we can always get back in. Okay, now do we have those aggressors coming back in? Not yet. Not yet. Are there resources to help with you with that, with getting up and running about the heat map, Joe? Absolutely. Joe, let me show you. If you go to bookmap.com and just click on education here. Okay, that's going to take you to the Bookmap Learning Center in here. And then there's getting started course here, how to get up and running. Then all the Bookmap features are in here, connecting to data, the add-ons. Okay, this will get you up and running. Now, understanding order flow is the next step, and I would really highly recommend that you go into and check out the basic market mechanics course here, and understand really what's happening in the market, and how Bookmap displays this, and understanding these mechanics, because it's really important to understand this. A lot of this kind of education is lost in other platforms or others out there because they're looking at candlesticks and just trying to extrapolate market mechanics by candlestick patterns. So it's better to just go to the direct source here and understand what makes the market move in here. Okay, so once you've done that, there's order flow phenomena stuff in here as well. I think you'll find really interesting, going over stops and icebergs and spoofing and spotting algorithmic trading, reading the tape, algorithmic activity here. You'll see a lot of stuff in here. Layering, absorption. Again, these are like the building blocks we're covering right now. And then the setups and strategies in here. We have a 10-part video course here on supply and demand. Also, JTrader, stocks and futures trader, has a small course, as well as Brandon on 0DT options, and go through those. Then come to our events. Sign up in here for our events every day. You can go by event type or market, language, and also host. Okay, and then all you have to do is just click on the event, and here's the link in Discord. You can add it to your calendar and copy the link as well. Okay, you can see we have several a day in here. We've already had 2 or 3 this morning, and yeah, we've had this is the 3rd one today. So we have 9 events just for Monday alone. All right. Anyway, guys, so we went through this setup here a bunch of times already, and they delivered a little something, but they didn't really follow through completely here, and that's fine. We knew that already. We knew it wasn't a great setup. Now we're looking at the NQ here, right? We knew it wasn't going to be a fantastic setup. We already had mentioned that beforehand. Okay, but it's good practice or good to cover some of these things so you, when you do see a good one, you'll know. Okay, I would recommend though, if you're new to the program, to just notice these things, but don't trade them, and stay away from them, and just hit replay mode. Keep on hitting the replay files, and that's the quickest way, because as you can see, this took a while in here to unfold, right? And that means you got to sit and wait. Think about it this way. Think about remember, I keep on using the example of the online poker players, like I don't know, 15 years ago or whenever it was, that young guys were doing amazingly well, then winning like the World Series of Poker. And how were they beating, veterans that have been playing for like 40 years? How is that possible? With all that experience. Well, they had equal amount of experience basically by playing like 10 different games on online poker rooms at the same time. They were able to go through that experience and get that experience very, very quickly. It's like flight simulators. It's like virtual racing. You take that corner again and again and again, reload it, take that corner again until you get it right. You get a feel for it. And that's how you get better. Okay. Well, if we're going to be trading it live in here, we're like those old men in the at the poker table. Okay, it just takes too long. So hit the replay mode. Okay, continue to do that. And then once you've got that down, you could go into the forward testing, like Laura trading his life, Shark, others in here, and they're nailing it. Okay, here's another nuance right in here. Okay, right here. Look at this one. All right, looks pretty good. See how this is turning into that kind of cup and handle where we started this off. Okay, I would look for, again, buyers up here. Let's see if we get them. Okay, and I'd look for them to stream right up into 160 here. Okay, this looks like a continuation pattern to me now. Okay, what are we leaning on? Okay, well, we broke some structure. We don't see a whole lot getting filled on the bid in here. Okay, so is this a great one? Not really. Not really, right? But I'm still looking for it to unfold. Okay, and I'd look for 160 here. Okay, and I would take my profits there. Okay, now 180 is looking pretty strong too. So maybe we take partial profit up here. That's up to you. Okay, but again, knowing your setup, knowing what it looks like, knowing how to manage it, and how much size to put on it. The old man at the poker table. Yeah, I mean, really, these were just veteran guys, like older guys, and they're getting beat by like some 20-year-old. Yep. Thanks, Alois. Yeah, use the Joe. Use the Bookmap default settings for now. In fact, I try to use the default settings as well. Okay, guys. I mean, even this one here would have stopped you out, and I would have, put it at break even. To be honest, because just. If it can't make it at this point up in here, then something's wrong. If I start to see this selling starting to come in, I just don't like it at all. It basically can't break above the swing here, and it can't trade into the 160 liquidity. And now there's more liquidity at a lower level here at 152. Okay, so anyway, going through and grading, looking at these order flow elements and grading them. I don't know what, Laura, I think you had said, for the four elements in this setup in here, all four are extremely important, and I totally agree. All right, here they go again, right? More buyers coming in. Then lack of buyers now. All right, buyers, let's see that move now. Let's see. It's looking pretty paltry in here right now. But I'm looking for them to get back up above the swing here. And I want to see a big stop run above here because all of these sellers are going to be running for it and having to cover. Let's see it now. This could be a nice move actually. We could hit the 180 at this point. All right, it's kind of a funny thing that we're looking for it, couldn't do it, looking for it, couldn't do it, and then this little move in here, and then we get up here, and then you see it unfold. Now, it's really kind of a sleeper of a move, but watch these things because this is turned into that cup and handle yet again up in here, and now I see a lot of buyers up in here. So I think we've got, let's zoom out a little bit. Just in this move up in here, there's a lot of buyers back up in here, and revisiting this looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm looking for it here. And 180 looks pretty good here. Okay. We tried in here a few times. Okay. And now it's looking, to me, it's looking more likely. The next swing is not in here, it's up here. Okay, at 77, and then we have our liquidity at 80. Might dabble into another one in here, guys. I know Trading is Life is looking at this in the next step in that in the setups in the pilot program. We're going to be putting these order flow elements together, looking for continuation move. Okay, now the continuation move in here would be the low volume pullback, which I do not see here right now. Trading is Life. I want to see this volume in here. That's not low volume. Now it might get upended in here, and we might get the big stop run up into our target here, right? But I'm not seeing it, right? We want to see that there's a lot of buy volume and there's very little interest on the sell side. And then we're looking for the buyers to curl back in and see that interest again, and then for them to lift it. Now, guys, one of the things in here, Trading is Life, I know that you put your criteria together. I need to follow up and get into it here. But the the criteria for it that you're, we talked about this earlier, what are you leaning on? Okay, well, in this case, you're leaning on this kind of trend move and lots of buyers here. Okay, moving, the aggressive buyers in here. Okay, it's not so much about the passive accumulation now. In fact, the passive liquidity are targets at this point now. So we're looking for targeting 80 up here. Okay, so this is very different. This is why we cover it in the pilot program this way. I mean, we're looking for understanding this relationship of passive accumulation, okay, and then a structure change, and then aggressive accumulation. Okay, now we have this at our backs in here now. Okay, that passive accumulation, that's what we want. And we want to lean on another thing in here, and that is the aggressive accumulation. Okay, that is the impulse move. Okay, so what we're leaning on is a little different. Then we're looking for the moves up into and targeting that high liquidity. Okay, we're looking for exhaustion in here. They were not looking for a lot of passive liquidity getting filled in here. We're looking for a lack of selling in here. There's no interest in here. Okay, now we can see there is some interest in here. They're trying, you know. You can see even this algorithmic activity in here. This guy wanting to get out, and he did get out here. Okay, all right. So let's see here now. If we can get our buyers in here. There they are. All right, let's see. I'm looking for them again. 175 and 80 here. Okay, we're seeing them come back in. Okay, now this is a little different. As we were saying, it's not a low volume pullback. Okay, so it's going to be a stop run though. So we're looking for the move up into here, and we're looking for a pretty big stop run. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it's not the setup. Just to be clear on that, okay. But we are looking for the move up into it and a stop run. Let me see if I can find a better low volume pullback in here. And the guys are coming up with a lot of comments here. All right, let me. Sorry guys, over in YouTube. Let's jump over there. MK Productions, yeah, the link here for pilot program. Put that in here. Okay, there you go. No. Pilot program art, it's not. There's going to be some videos and stuff in there, but they're just to help onboard you and so you understand what it is. But it's really going to be about the replay files art. Also the community. It's going to be really about the community, the replay files, and using the Bookmap journal. You want feedback from that community, and you want to post your setups and your trades in there, so that you get feedback. Okay, that you're on the right path and doing it right. And art, put it this way, it's kind of like going to the gym. You're going to be putting in reps. That's what you're going to be doing in the pilot program, okay? And that's how you build an edge. Okay, you're going to be doing that edge building through your own experience. Here, let me show you, for example, someone's. Here, I'll show trading his life, or maybe Laura here. Oh, I actually got a good one from Low. Actually, Low, I got you in here now. So he's new to it, and here's his. He shared it in here. Now this is his replay file. Uh, uh, I hope you don't mind, Low. I didn't double check with you, but I mean it's replay. But you know, he's new to the program. But you know, your equity curve should look like something like this in replay mode, because you know the setup is going to be there. You're gonna, you know, you're gonna have losses, believe me, and that's fine. You should. You know, I'll go back and sometimes into some of these replay files and go, okay, I should get in there, and then I get stopped out. But then I'll just replay it again, and then I'll get it right, and I'll replay it many times. So in one file, I might go over it 10 different times to understand what how, the nuances of it, and how I'm going to handle it, and why it did what it did. Okay, this is golden. All right. Now, once you start to build this confidence in here in replay mode, you will go into the forward testing. Right, and then you'll do the same thing, but in the live market, like we're covering now. Now you wouldn't have taken any of these in the live market for the forward testing, because they did not set up the way that you're looking for it, and you don't want to mess with your confidence. Okay, that's crucial. Okay, that's why it takes a while in you know, real trading. You want to look at the ES? Okay, we can jump back to the ES. Okay, this is where we left off on the ES, right? This played out beautifully. So we have a higher time frame key level. Yeah, I mean we talked about that in here. So I imagine a bunch of you guys took this one in the ES, okay? And I'm sure you took your profits up here for the hitting the single, and nicely done, nicely done. Look at this too. I like this. Liquidity here is kind of below the swing, right? That's great. So a lot of times it's above it, and you don't know if you're are people going to buy above the swing in here is kind of a question. In this case, it's below it, and there's liquidity there. Boom, beautiful. And we started the webinar off with this one. See if there's any questions. Ed and Tani, yeah, well, market's always selling off, and well, it's always choppy. It's always back and forth. But we're looking for some of these elements to give us that edge. Yeah, Jason, so I'm going over the S&P here. This is where we left off on it. I mean, it really, this one played out pretty nicely. Okay, and we had our higher time frame level up here at 81, right, as well. That swing, and anyway, we had marked it up, and it's bouncing off of it now too. We'll see if it does. uh, Let me jump back to the NQ because I want to go over that low volume pullback. If we're going to have more of an opportunity to probably see it in the NQ than the ES. NQ just can't get up here, can it? Funny. That's just really, really funny. Just I was looking for that big stop run up into this area here. We get the move and we just get a whole bunch of chop in here. Let's see here. This would be a low volume pullback right in here, but there's some important things that you would miss this. You would not take this in here. First off, you're looking for an impulse move, right? Because you're leaning on the aggressors moving price away from an area, and for the NQ, this is not enough, right? It's not enough to move away from that area, and I mean, basically, you want to see this kind of move below here. So I'd want to see it down to here. And then I'm looking for maybe a low volume pullback. Okay, but this is the kind of volume. See how much? That's actually not bad with that buying right in here. But we're looking for not much volume coming back. And then we're looking for some exhaustion, which you do see here, and some selling here. Like I said, other than that, on this small time frame in here, it looks pretty good. But this is not the setup. Those are the elements, but the elements aren't good enough. All right, so we'll try to find a better example in here. I mean, it happens all the time. Yeah. All right, so like here, look at that heavy volume. Okay, actually a little bit of high volume in here, but then you're looking for that heavy volume again on the other side, on the sell side. Still not the picture perfect example. Okay, but it's all about the aggressor and the impulse move, and then the pullback is just not showing a lot of interest. Okay, and then we wait and we watch for those other aggressors to come in to move that market back down. Now you would like in that case in here, let's suppose you got in here, you're looking for just hitting the single down to the swing. All right, because we don't know if this turns into a double bottom. And other times when you start to get a feel for it, then it's fine. I mean, you can see this actually did it again here. So this is our low volume pullback here, right? Selling, the pullback here, not much. Boy, I really don't see much until here, to be honest. And then you're selling the bottom edge here. Okay, so that's not much of an edge, or for your trading. Although this worked out really nicely, and again, kind of like an inverse cup and handle in here. I mean, same idea. It's kind of a breakdown trade at that point. But you guys, does that make sense? Are you following me? Trading is life. I don't know. Are you following along on that? Like, I imagine so. I mean, like a impulse move, right? pullback, and we said it's not the greatest, but like, and then we get kind of a miniature impulse move, pullback, and then we're looking again in here for those aggressors to come in, and they don't come in until here. Okay, but then this turns into more of like a wedge type of thing, really. Okay, you're looking at this here. All right, so you can see where I'm kind of getting at though, is these things all kind of run together. You know, understanding the building blocks of a low volume pullback gives you insight to a wedge pattern. And it did a beautiful job here. Beautiful measured move right down into high liquidity, and you would target that for a wedge pattern right into here, and you'd get out. All right, let's go back to the current market and see what's happening. Oh, it's kind of messy. Anyway, for the low volume pullback trade that I've been covering so far has been looking for that trend to initiate. A lot of times when that trend is already initiated, you just look for the low. You're leaning on that, you know, those many impulse moves already. Okay. And again, trend lines will come in very, very handy for that. You know, is this it? No, no way. Look at that buying up in here. It auctioned up in here. There were buyers up in here. They failed to get higher. Okay. But you know, we can see them maybe buy down here and come back up here and then even break out, right? So this is not what we're looking for. Yeah, this is one of the reasons I stayed away from the low volume pullback trading is life, is like you'll start to see it all over the place, and then I think people would overtrade. I wanted to start with this understanding these elements of the reversal, you know, in the trend line break accumulation, and people to understand, like, well, I think it's important to understand this in Bookmap. That's why I covered it first, was understanding passive accumulation, okay, and absorption, and that's really key. Okay, and then we can move on into other things. So you look at, even though there's buyers up here, look at the lack of buyers here now. Okay, on that swing. Okay, all right, well, we can get sellers again here. Maybe we'll get another wedge pattern now. Okay, now I have some sellers here. I need to see a lot of sellers here though. All right. Okay, and then I'd be looking for, well, I don't see much liquidity down below. Maybe here, 150. Yeah, see how this is going to be a trap, and then we're going to get the squeeze higher now. Okay, so again, it auctioned up here. We're getting buyers here. I bet these buyers can take it up to this swing here, or this liquidity here at 170. Okay, based off of what we just put together in the order flow. Okay, and is this a trend line break in accumulation? Well, not really, but there's a nuance in here of it. Guys, I really need some feedback in here on some of these nuances. Is it confusing to people? What I'm trying to get at is, if you understand the elements, then it starts to blend into other things. And I don't want to confuse though, because we first have to know these elements extremely well. And then once you understand them extremely well, expertise starts to set in so that you can look for nuances of it. and understand that that move up into 70 here, which already has unfolded, is possible. Okay. Okay, Darrow. Well, I mean, I think the best thing to do and to get to that point is I need to cover things in the live market in here, but I think the best thing to do is hit the replay mode. That's going to provide the clarity I think that you need. Oh yeah, thank you, Eloise. VWAP, of course, we have VWAP add-on here, guys. We've been waiting all this whole time up in here for that move into 80. Now it looks imminent, maybe 85. Okay, so look at that buy volume coming in now. Okay, where did it auction before? Up in here. Okay, 85. So that's a lot of buy volume coming in now. I'm looking again, we're looking for it over here, that stop run. Well, there's even more fuel in here now. All of these guys are sellers in here. They're going to be buyers up and through here. Okay, up to 85. Okay, pull back already. Kind of surprised, but let's see. Let's see if we can get buyers again right here above this selling dot here. That's where we need to see them. Okay, and is this a low volume pullback? It's not. It's guys, it's still pretty choppy in here. To be honest, this is not the low volume pullback. So I'm looking for 80 and 85, and like it's struggling. We still have tons of buy volume compared to selling though. Okay, now let's get back up above here. This is where we need to see them. Let's see it, buyers. And no buying. Right up here at 73 is where we need to see them. Okay, all right, thank you, Caveman. I'm explaining it well. Yeah, now it's going to be the opposite in here. These buyers in here are going to feel the squeeze, right? And then we see some stop runs here. Okay, but it's coming back down to the next structural level. Okay, we have a structural level here. Okay, okay, let's see if that's enough. Anyway, guys, it's time to go, and thank you all. We'll do it again tomorrow, and yeah, look for some new materials pretty soon this week over in the pilot program, and you know, get you guys onboarded correctly, and to have the materials for you, answer your questions, and we'll continue on in the new setup as well. Or these building blocks really is what it's about. It really is, because once you've got these pieces, you just put these pieces together, and you know, you can start to look for studying it yourself as well. Okay, it opens up like everything. You can have your own setups with these pieces, your own replay files, but again, make sure you go back into replay mode, okay, and trade it in replay mode and put it in so you can get it into your journal. Let me just end on this one. I didn't quite get there, and this was excellent. Lowe had his journal here, and then look at this. Okay, he's doing a great job in here. He's doing his work. He's got a playbook here in the notes column. Here he's marked them up. This is where he took the trade. So now he's got the setups checklist down here. He's graded it, and you know, I need to talk to him about a few things, taking some things off his chart. However, you know, he just built a ton of experience in here. Okay, with that trade, with this trade. You know, he's got how many trades altogether here in his yeah, so he's got 28 trades so far, and he's new to the program. Okay? 28 trades documented, guys, and trading it. You know, how cool is that? You get to trade it and document it instead of. Do you know how difficult it is to go back and I mean, I've done it several times over many years of going back and going, okay, the swing was here. It went against me this much. You know, it went in profit this much. This was what I was looking for, etc. That, guys, is tedious. And you also don't get the live feel for it. In replay mode, you're going to get the live feel of it. These are some of the elements of the program I like so much, is that you're building reps through actual trading. It's just in replay mode. Anyway, guys, we'll end on that note. Thanks for coming, everyone, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Yep, take care. Bye-bye.